Hello and welcome back to Eurofootball Daily for this week's Euro transfer talk. Just because the Euros are going on doesn't mean clubs are taking a break behind the scenes. So let's get straight into it with all the latest news and rumours. We start with the reigning Premier League champions Manchester City, who we outlined recently could be in for something of an exodus this summer, as a number of players are reportedly unhappy with their situations at the club. One player though who isn't necessarily unhappy but seems ready to move on from the Etihad is Bernardo Silva. Signed by Pep Guardiola in 2017 from Monaco for £45 million, the Portuguese international developed into one of the club's most dependable performers, making over 200 appearances in the last 4 years, contributing 79 goals and winning 10 trophies in the process, including 3 Premier League titles. An influential player under Pep, Silva even won Manchester City's Player of the Year award after winning the domestic treble in 2018-19. This season though, it's a different story, with the 26-year-old finding himself in and out of the side, scoring 5 and setting up 9 goals in all competitions. And now reports are suggesting that the Benfica youth product would look for a move away from England if the opportunity presented itself. And if he goes anywhere, it's looking likely that he would end up in Spain, with Atletico Madrid and Barcelona the two sides showing the most interest in the midfielder. Barcelona, who continue to be linked with a host of players despite an apparent financial crisis, would look for a swap deal to try and get around the FFP rules. The players Barca are willing to see leave the Camp Nou in exchange are Sergi Roberto and Ousmane Dembele. Naturally a midfielder but converted to a right back under Luis Enrique in 2015, it's hard to see how a 29-year-old Roberto would be any use to Guardiola. Dembele, on the other hand, despite a number of injury problems, is only 24, and Barcelona have reportedly told him to sign a new contract this summer or he will be sold. The Frenchman's current deal in Catalonia expires in 12 months. The former Rennes man has made just 118 appearances in his 4 years with the club. Atletico Madrid are also eyeing up a swap deal, with Saul Niguez the player they are willing to use as trade bait. The 26-year-old made his Atleti debut in 2012 and has made 337 appearances for this year's La Liga champions, but is said to be less than satisfied with his current role under Diego Simeone. The midfielder started just 22 games and played the fewest minutes in a campaign since his breakthrough 2014-15 season. Are Atleti and Barca offering City fair players, or should Silva stay put at the Etihad? Let us know in the comments section. So, from a player Barcelona are interested in signing, to a player that Barcelona are interested in getting rid of. Philippe Coutinho was a £120 million mistake for the Blaugrana, moving from Liverpool in January 2018, failing to impress before being loaned out to Bayern Munich for the 2019-20 season. And although he looks set to be a useful tool in Ronald Koeman's side last season, the Brazilian, who turned 29 on Saturday, suffered a serious knee injury in December which required 2 surgeries. Now it seems like Barcelona are prepared to cut their losses on the attacker, and it will definitely be a major loss compared to their outlay 3 years ago. Leicester City are reportedly interested in him, with Brendan Rodgers having previously managed Coutinho whilst the pair are at Anfield. But the Foxes are only prepared to offer a maximum of £17 million to bring him to the King Power, almost a 90% drop of value since he was last in the Premier League. But it could be worth it for the Catalans to get his £140,000 a week wages off the books. Arsenal and Everton have also been linked with Coutinho, but neither are able to offer him European football next season, unlike Europa League side Leicester, who would also be willing to take him to the East Midlands on loan. Coutinho's contract isn't up until 2023, so Barcelona realistically have 12 months to make at least some money back on him, even if it is just a small fraction. Do you think he can still perform in the Premier League? Let us know, as always, down below. Before we move on to our next section, just a very polite reminder to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a brilliant EFD video. To France next, where Kylian Mbappe's future at PSG remains in the balance. Over the past 12 months we reported just about everything: that he wanted to leave, that he would sign a new deal, that he wasn't ready to commit long term, that he was actually happy in Paris, and now once again Mbappe himself is casting doubts over his future with the club. Just last week, PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi came out and said that Mbappe, whose contract expires at the end of next season, will be staying in Liga for the coming campaign, before adding that PSG will never sell him and that he will never leave on a free. That all suggests that the 22-year-old will be signing a new deal soon, but Mbappe's most recent comments suggest otherwise. When asked about his immediate future, the superstar told France Football that I have to make the right decision and give myself every chance to make up my mind. I'm in a place where I like myself, but is it the best place for me? I don't know. It is also claimed that Mbappe has told PSG that he will not make any decisions on his future until after Euro 2020, and that he wants a strong squad built around him as they look to reclaim their Liga crown from Lille. This will keep Real Madrid on high alert, who are looking for a long-term replacement for Karim Benzema, who, despite being one of Los Blancos' best players last campaign, will turn 34 in December. Benzema, who of course is at Euro 2020 with Mbappe, also spoke to the media, saying, "If Mbappe could come to Madrid, that would be ideal." Fiorentino Perez is hopeful that because of his contract situation, he can be acquired for a price below his market value. Is Mbappe on his way out next season? Let us know in the comments. So, whilst it could be another year for any team to get their hands on Kylian Mbappe, Real Madrid remain in the market for a striker, and new boss Carlo Ancelotti has identified the man he wants to sign, Chelsea's Timo Werner. The 25-year-old has endured a difficult debut season in the Premier League, netting just 6 goals in 35 appearances following his £47.5 million switch from RB Leipzig last summer. And it's because of this underwhelming form that Madrid think they can capture the German for a smaller fee than Chelsea paid for him. Werner netted 12 goals in all competitions, but his ability to play on the wing as well, and the fact he contributed 15 assists, makes the German a very attractive proposition for Ancelotti. The signing of the former Leipzig man was one of the 3 requests the Italian reportedly made to take over the role from Zinedine Zidane, alongside the signing of Lyon's Houssam Aouar, and to reintegrate Gareth Bale into the squad at the Bernabeu. Like their El Clasico rivals, Real Madrid are also in financial turmoil, so it remains to be seen how likely any major moves will be in the Spanish capital this summer. They are, however, now keen to keep a certain someone at the club. It's been long expected that Sergio Ramos will be leaving Real Madrid this summer, ending a 16-year association with the club. The 35-year-old has made 671 appearances and won 22 trophies with Los Blancos. But since the club weren't willing to offer their captain a 2-year deal on the same terms, Ramos seemed happy to move on, with PSG the frontrunners to secure his signature. However, the mood has changed in the Bernabeu. With the expectation that Madrid will be selling Rafael Varane this summer, Ancelotti does not want the club to lose both of last season's starting centre-backs in this window. Despite the arrival of David Alaba, the Italian would be left with a 31-year-old Nacho as well as Eder Militao, who has failed to live up to the €15 million paid for him 2 years ago. So the deal that Real Madrid had originally offered and then withdrawn is now back on the table, in very much a take it or leave it fashion. Currently earning €12 million a year, Madrid want Ramos to take a 10% pay cut, which would still make him amongst the highest earners at the club and on par with the new signing Alaba. But there could be an offer coming in from elsewhere that proves far more appealing for this Spaniard, who was left out of Luis Enrique's Euro 2020 squad. His former club Sevilla are preparing to offer Ramos a 5-year contract, as well as an opportunity to work at the club if he retires before his deal expires, which is when he would be 40 years old. We round off this week's Euro transfer talk with a brief update on Jude Bellingham's future with Borussia Dortmund. It had been suggested that Chelsea were interested in the 17-year-old, who became the youngest ever player to appear at European Championships on Sunday. But the youngster won't be leaving the black and yellow anytime soon. Bellingham originally signed the deal running to 2023, but upon his 18th birthday, which is in 2 weeks, the club have an option to extend that until 2025. And after the season he's just had, scoring in the Champions League, lifting the DFB Pokal, and working his way into the England setup, it is a no-brainer. A whirlwind 12 months for the youngster indeed. So that's it for this week's Euro transfer talk. What did you think of the stories we covered this week? Do you think they're absolute rubbish, or do you think these are legitimate claims? Let us know in the comments below. As always, like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.